before that, I just need few things from my audience here. One, please check that your phone connection is good. You have internet connection, and also you have battery. So that because throughout the session, not throughout the session, in between, I'll be communicating with you through your phone. Okay, this is actually some of the ideas that I pick up meeting our students after pandemic. Okay, after pandemic, it's like before pandemic, it was tough, but after pandemic, to make them speak, it became like struggling with dinosaurs. Like please say something, and they'll be like. But I realized that they are into their phone, so we have to find a medium so that we can use that to communicate with our students. Now, okay, can you please scan this? You don't have to register, just scan and then key in the word and enter. Okay, let's see. What comes in your mind when you hear the word fun learning? Okay, fun learning. Wow, that is so fun. Excitement. Okay, let's see the smallest word, which is cat. Unfortunately, I can't bring a cat here and entertain my students in the class. Okay, student engaging activity. Let's look at the biggest and the most highlighted word. So, happy. Yes, happy. Do you know that scientifically, scientifically and also based on a lot of studies, happy, if you are happy, happiness leads to success. But then that is another big story, Then I need to do another 3 days for this training, because people are doing training out there. Happiness leads to success. That is too huge, But here in this training today, we are going to look at fun, happy, interesting. So these are the most highlighted word that I received from my participants today. So thank you very much for attending this training, building a fun and positive learning environment for the students in the class. Okay, I'm not quite sure if all of you are lecturers. Majority? Can I say majority? No. You got staff, but related to learning. Okay, so maybe when you talk about learning and teaching, it can be not only in university, school, primary school. It can be other institution. Okay, it can be religious institution. It can be other short courses, training. So all the educators, trainers, and speakers, what they want is the audience to listen to them. So how are we supposed to make sure that people are listening to us? Listening is another subject where you can actually make it like listen, and are they just hearing or listening? Okay, that is another aspect. But how to make sure that my students engage with me in class? How to make sure that the environment is ready for them to make sure that it's, I really want to learn something from this lecture, this person, or when she or he enters the class, I feel like, wow, I really like this person, how? Beautiful? That's really difficult, I cannot be like Afni all the time, like TikTok. I always wonder, wow, rajin, So I don't have that, I feel malas. So there are some this kind of category people exist in this world of learning and teaching. So how are you going to make sure that the students look at you and then they are like waiting for you, waiting for my teacher to come into the classroom? So is it possible? Okay, maybe it's possible. Maybe by the end of this training session, you get an idea. Okay, why not we just give it a try? Okay, we just use some of the ideas. Yeah, I'm going to share only one strategy. Okay, later, and then I'll be giving you some ideas how to apply the strategy in to make sure that our class is fun and positive. Alright, so let's move on to the first activity. But then you can just sit wherever you are, just be there. You don't have to move. What is this? Oh, okay, yeah, thank you. Actually, 3 different fruits. Yes. Apple, orange, banana. So usually in team building, you have to play. You'll be like playing this game. You have to get up and play this game. But since all of you just after breakfast and you might be sleepy a bit, okay? Let's do this. When I say apple, you look at your right. Where is your right? Right side. Okay. When I say orange, you look at your left side. And when I say banana, you say. You don't have to say anything, you just have to look front and then, okay? Let's try, Okay, the game is like this. Once, it's like, try to be honest, okay? Once you know that you have done a mistake, please stop, don't continue. Because I want one winner at last, like finally the one person that can follow the instruction. Okay, this is just a rehearsal, Apple. Orange. No, you don't have to point. If you want to point, okay, you think that you want to point for all 3 sides? Okay, only for front you point, okay? These 2, just move your head. Apple, orange, banana, 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 apple, orange, apple, apple, orange. Okay, one up. Okay, please be honest to yourself. Okay, once you know that you have done a mistake, I'll just stop, okay? Banana. Banana. Orange. Hello. Apple. Apple. Apple orange. Orange. Okay, okay, last one last try. Apple. Orange, banana, banana, orange, apple, apple, orange, banana. Some of you, okay. Who do you think that okay, I did actually everything correctly? No mistake at all. Anyone? Anyone there? You want to admit that? Okay, if you are doing this, okay, yeah, we are mature. Okay, you feel like feel shy. Oh, that's why actually it's supposed to be like apple, orange, banana. It's like it's supposed to be a very physical kind of activity, but I just make it what do you call this? I make it simple so that you can do it from the place. This is what most of our students are expecting. Now, okay, they are not expecting banana, apple, orange, but something for them to do. But then they want it to be very light. Like if we give them like for them to go out of the class and be like, miss, like another case. Like it's quite difficult to handle. So we have to think. We have so many things to think. Admin work, research work, teaching work, KPI, and everything. And still, we need to think about a way to teach my students like how they want it to be. Like it's like we have to put ourselves in their place and then imagine. So now this situation is almost like our student, like where you are now listening to me. It's quite hard, isn't it? Someone talking is very hard. Now we know. Oh, now I know why my student is suffering. So you are in that situation. So I hope that throughout the session, this training session, you will get a picture. What are the things that you are supposed to do and not to do? Now, I'm not sure some of you notice or not, like what are you actually going to learn today? Because building a fun and positive learning environment is quite general. Okay, fun, positive, it's very general. So actually the objective is for a 2-day training. So for this 4 hours session, I try to squeeze in as much as I can. And this objective, maybe you can't achieve everything because this is for 2 days training, but somehow, yes, we will try to achieve it. Recognize self-concept to apply effective communication skill in a classroom setting. Understand the methods to make students laugh, to keep the classroom alive and facilitate learning. Assess students' need and effectively utilize humor strategy to secure student attention. Emphasize the appropriateness and effectiveness of humor in teaching and learning. So I think you found the keyword here, humor. So we will be touching about that. Okay. The second part of our training will be focusing more and only on humor, like how this is the strategy actually. So how are we going to apply that? Can we apply that? Are we supposed to apply that, or it is? What are the consequences if we apply that? So these are the things that we are going to look at after in part 2, after your break, if possible. I'm not sure whether it will fall before or after your break. Okay, now, so some of the simple takeaways after the session, you'll be like, oh, I got this. Okay, I understood what is self-concept, what is impressing students, and what is humor. Okay, so these are the some points that you can remember. Maybe you can just remember this and remind me later. Miss Aruna, I think you forgot this part. Can you please explain? So you can just a reminder for me. Later you can just remind me. Now, what makes a great teacher? In one word, what makes a great teacher? Engaging students. Passion.
Advice.
Kind. Okay, kindness.
Advice.
Advice.
Not boring.
Huh?
Not boring.
Not boring. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's why you are here, and then you feel like Miss Aruna is too bored now. I already started like not boring. The tone itself saying that I need to do something, so it's like a pressure for me. Okay. So what else? Reliable. Okay, now back to the answer. Advice, not boring, kindness, reliable. Okay, all this can be connected to one word. What is that? I ask questions and I answer. That's a lecture. What is that? Actually, how can you advise someone? How to advise someone? You have to talk, right? To make sure that it's not bored, you give activity. You cannot be like giving activity and after that, cannot. No, you have to. Yes. Wow, I told you, isn't it? This is Afni. Okay, communication. So back to reliable, kindness, advice, not too bored. Okay, so these are the things that we have to do in our class to make sure that our students like us. But end of the day, if you connect everything to show that you are polite, to show that you are giving some attention to them, it ends up somewhere here. Communication. You have to communicate. So it doesn't matter it's verbal or non-verbal. So it combined, okay? Verbal and non-verbal communication. So what are you supposed to do? Now, when you're talking about fun and positive, how fun are we? Okay, you have to ask that question before entering the class. Do you think you're fun? Do you think positive? Yes. Yeah, if not positive, you're like sleeping at home. Alarm, close. Switch off your phone. I don't want to work. So you are very positive, right? Because you want to work, you really want to have the determination to finish the course outline, whatever that you need to give to your students. Yes, we are very positive. Okay, that's itself good. Attending the class with positive energy. But are we fun enough? Like when the students look at us, do they like us? So this question related to communication. How are we communicating? So back to the verbal and non-verbal. Doesn't matter. You don't have to say a word. you enter the class, sometimes you don't have to say a word, just smile at them. Cukup, it's like good enough, right? But if you have never done that before, then you will be wondering, what's wrong with mine? Before that, you're like, yes. So this is actually I had one person in my mind when I was doing this, but I was exaggerating. Sorry, but then my friend mentioned, my HOD is quite strict, we both teach the same course, where sometimes the students will tell me, oh, Miss Nazlin, she doesn't even smile in the class, Okay, it's okay, because this is what students notice. But end of the day, what the students learn, maybe most probably the student learn more in her class compared to my class. But it is, I was just saying, okay, back to the example. So usually if you are like, suddenly you're going to something wrong, or the student will be wondering, is there going to be like a sudden quiz or pop quiz? It must be something. So, okay, so which means the changes that you did, okay, later we just look at it whether it's positive feedback or negative feedback, but then the student noticed something, okay. Actually, the first step towards a change is actually you make just a small changes in your life, like you smile, you try to smile. Before this, you never smile, you try. But if before this, you were smiling, you have a very sweet smile, you were very polite and very engaging and friendly with your students, then let's think about something else, how to go beyond so that they can engage with us. So, now, communication. So before you communicate, okay, sorry about so many things, so I'll just make it very simple. Self-concept. How many of you have noticed that you have a self-concept and you are bringing that to your workplace, and you are bringing back to your home, and you are bringing back to your friends, and you are bringing back to everywhere that you are going? You have a self-concept, right? No. How friendly are you to your friend? How friendly are you to your friend? You have a good friend, right? You'll be like laughing and smiling. How friendly are you? Extremely friendly. Okay? The same person you go into the class. You won't smile. What's that? Okay, oh yeah, okay, good, but this is very good. You change. This is you. It's the same person, right? But when you go back and then you speak to the person that you really love. Okay, I know that. We change but it's the same person, okay? We have different self-concept, okay? It's not like different, but because it's like manageable, you can change yourself, I'm not saying that a strict person that you have seen in your life doesn't mean that person will be strict at home with their kids all the time strict, No, they have the way they deal with different person, with different situation. They have different way of communicating. They change their role. So here, generally theories agree on the following points about self-concept. Self-concept is the overall idea we have about who we are. So here, for building a fun and positive learning environment, the self-concept that you have to ask yourself who you are. Different categories. Maybe we can categorize into a person who is like extremely happy, fun. Some of you like very strict, and some fall in the middle, and some like somewhere in between strict and middle and extremely happy and friendly. Yes. So this is us. First, we need to find out. Okay, why are we looking at this in this topic? Because before we enter the classroom, we need to make sure our mind state and who we are before we blame the student. The student is not responding. The student is not fun. I do game, but the student never participate. I said something, the student never laughed. I share about my story, the students are not bothered. So this is most of the situation that I'm sharing some of my experience, in class. I faced this before in the class. So then what I did is I did my own analyzation. Okay, the problem comes from me, probably, So I need to look into myself. Who am I? So same goes to you. Who are you? Very simple question. Only 3 words. Who are you? Give me 1 word. 1 word enough. This training is just 1 word. I don't want very long sentences. Okay. Looking at self-concept, okay, maybe you can just read that. Self-concept, multidimensional, incorporating our view, how we look at ourselves, and then it is actually influenced by others' image, influenced by your cultural teaching, okay, our self-concept. So, how do you look at you? Who are you? For those like educators, maybe you can just imagine in front of your students, who are you? Like, what is your self-concept? How do you show yourself? For those working in admin or you have other department, how do you show yourself to other colleagues or your employer? Like, how do you portray yourself? Your self-concept. 1 word. Strict. It can be strict. It can be friendly. I'm actually kind. When people notice me, I'm a very kind person. How do they look at you? Have you ever wondered? We always like blame others. Hey, why you don't know how to drive, ma? Hey, must queue like this. Why are you queuing there? I'm standing here. Okay, always blame. Especially now, I have to be very careful. Everywhere viral, like I'm like checking everywhere. Don't make any mistake in the public. At home, no problem. At home also kena. Sometimes some people don't like you. They just record and then they upload. So it's like we always find people's. No, it's not mistake. We always we analyze others. If I ask you about your friend or your enemy, who are they? What is their capability, or whatever? That if I ask about another person, very arrogant, like not friendly at all, not kind at all. So we have certain things to say, but when we ask about ourselves, AI generation, everything is like working. So this is very important. Why? Back to the topic, which is building a fun and positive learning. So we must make sure that our self, our self-concept is positive. It's not necessary it needs to be like very fun, because we are not comedian or we are not a clown. Especially when we are in the class, So at least a sense of humor in ourselves. Like later we're going to look at that. What are the tactics that we can use? So here, self-concept and communication. Now, do you often wonder why it is challenging for you to change your life? You don't have to change your life actually. Actually, you don't have to change your life. But sometimes your situation, right? You wonder, like in class, my students is not responding, not engaging, and then sometimes some of you like, students engage or not, at the end of the day they need to study for their exam. Nothing to do with me. So maybe if this is your mind, maybe you need to change a little bit, because it's about learning. It's not about studying, memorizing. The students need to learn. Sometimes we do forget that. Do they learn? Did they learn anything after our class? We forget to ask them sometimes. So these are the process where you have to go through. You have to go through before you set a class. Can you see? Very simple. Can you recall your last time? Those days we don't have play school, right? We play at home. Belakang rumah, depan rumah, right? But now we have play school. But I'm sorry, I think I have another generation here. Mine is like, I feel like it's too old when I say those days. Okay, kindergarten. Okay, all of us went to kindergarten, right? Can you recall your kindergarten? How does it look like? No, at least like the colors, like what are the things that you, or maybe primary school. Primary school would be better because you can actually recall, you remember. Do you remember? Was it exciting, colorful, the boards? How about Yuta? Can we do something to Yuta classroom? No, because it's not permanent, right? So when we talk about fun, exciting, we cannot do anything. And those in higher education, we can't do anything much with posters. I come and stick here, paint here. No, you can't do that. Because it's not permanent. We don't have a permanent territory for us. So we just need to switch. So what can we do? Yes, only you, your mouth, and then your brain. This is what we can do to make sure that my student is listening to me. We can't do anything physically to the environment to pull my student or to attract my student or to engage my student. So all what I can do is I can only use some techniques with my self-concept. Self-image can as well as be changed or manipulated. Habits, mental programming and acceptance make your image. The things you think and accept of yourself become your self-image. Positive reactions are as a result of positive mental attitude brought about by thinking consciously. So, now we got another point. How to make your environment positive from you. Okay? Now, a good example. How many of you have the habit of listening to radio? Especially morning show. Morning show sometimes. But do you know that there is a morning, most of station, they have morning show and that's the highest TRP, everybody, all the DJs want morning show. How do they talk? Very excited, very excited, energetic. Have you ever imagined, don't they have any family problem? Sometimes when we wake up, we do have a lot of problems like pending works, like submission deadlines, you have to pay. How about them in the radio station? Every day they're like, wow, so happy, oh. How are they doing that? For money, is it? Yeah, of course, because they get paid. We also get paid. But, okay, now the question is, are we bringing our yesterday's problem into our classroom? Are we bringing all the mental template that we collected about the students? Sit. So, are we bringing that to our each class? So these are all some of the problems that actually affect us. But maybe you feel like, hey, I'm actually a good person, I will not pinpoint any problems, I don't remember anything, but actually we do. So the radio DJ is a very good example. Every time when, this can be applied in your personal life also, every time when you feel like bringing your other problem into another situation which you are not supposed to bring, you can actually think of the radio DJ. Because why radio DJ? Because that's live. Not some of them, some of the shows are recorded, but usually morning shows is actually live. And one lesson that we can learn from them is definitely they forget before they enter their, what do you call it?
Studio.
Not studio. It's one word. What do you call this? Not cockpit. Cockpit is like what? Conti. See, I told you, Afni. Afni already saved my session. Please be here. Okay, Conti. So before they enter into Conti, they just forget all their past family problems, whatever financial problems. So that's how we somehow we should try to apply that in class as well. Okay, so try to be like zero. Okay, zero level. We start from zero level. Always try to tune yourself like this is my first day. First day definitely like hello students. Okay, I am first day. Imagine not last day lah, but now I'm like 10 years. After 10 years, what is that? What are we teaching? Like, you'll be like, no, why? Because we are too used to it. But then again, we'll try to blame that, oh, now this type of students or this generation of students, very hard to read. No. So let's just talk about, it's not putting blame, let's focus on us. How are we going to make sure that our students get a better environment so that the learning will be fun, okay? Positive reaction are as a result of positive mental attitude, okay? What do you feel about yourself? Support your, this is about self-esteem, so again related to self-concept, how do you portray yourself, self-image, and also self-esteem. I know this is nothing, like most of the educators or those who are like working staff, and all of you have a very good positive attitude. Okay, so self-esteem is just to like trigger you, saying that you should have. Okay, in case like any part of your mind you have somebody said something about you, you like keep on thinking, am I good enough? So please just put that aside. You are good enough. Okay, there's nothing and you can make mistake. Okay, everybody can make mistake. Okay, so especially our learning method in Malaysia, okay, we feel like, oh, lecturers are always right. Yeah, I shouldn't make mistake. Sometimes we have that when the students like say pinpoint, like they say that, okay, miss, I think this is wrong. You are supposed to do this. How do you take it? Lecturers, any lecturers say that? Okay, yes. When I ask you this question, okay, any lecturers? Do you have you had this experience before? Students correcting you? Yes. But at first, after that you will explain. But at first, how do you react? Like, okay, or maybe like, no, this is right. You want to argue with me now? No. That is second category. So that is totally no. First category, like you must know how to react. So always make sure, because we are, yes, we should know everything. We shouldn't, actually, we should try to not to make mistake in class, especially when it comes to fact. Okay, when you're sharing information, no. But then if it happens, how do you react? So it should, make sure it should not disturb your self-esteem. Take the time you need for yourself, recognize your strengths and positive attribute, feel confident, have a positive outlook on life, overall life. So overall, when you are happy, when you are satisfied, when you have a high self-esteem, when you enter the classroom, the students will clap for you. Sometimes it happens, students really enjoy. I've seen that kind of teachers, like they'll be like waiting for the teachers, okay, they have fun. But there are some consequences where some of the lecturers especially, they feel like, we cannot give so much space for the students, we should have a gap, That's true in a way. So we'll just look at it at the end of the training. So what are the things that, how are we supposed to control this situation? Fun, but at the same time, it needs to be controlled, okay? Scan this and share your experience. I hope it works this time. This is different. This is not Mentimeter, this is Padlet. So if you log into your Gmail, your name will appear. But if you never log in, it just appears as anonymous when you answer. Yeah, actually these are the things that few applications that we found to make sure the students are communicating with the lecturer without communicating. So finally we came up with some equipments and applications in the classroom. Oh. How do you feel about yourself? Cute, sleepy. Maybe this question, don't look at your current situation. Look at your overall, your personal life, and throughout. If you are 20 years old now, anyone 20 years old? Try to conclude your 20 years. How do you feel about yourself? After realizing self-concept, self-image, and self-esteem, how do you feel about yourself? Positive. Actually, this is, I'm not sure whether other lecturers are using this. I always use this in tutorial because I teach interpersonal communication, and once I give them a role play. Okay, after pandemic, this is my after pandemic situation. I give a role play. I told my students, okay, you meet your friend in cafeteria. Student A, student B are meeting in cafeteria. Student B is eating alone, so student A go and having fun. Student B go and approach the student A sitting alone and ask them, talk to them. One student, Miss, I will never go and sit with the student. I'll just sit alone, pay, and then go back to my room. I don't want to talk. I'm giving role play activity for my students to talk, and this is their feedback. So imagine students' mindset. Okay, even role play also they feel like, I don't feel like talking. So it's quite difficult. Teaching interpersonal communication and making the students talking is itself a bit tough for me. But I'm not sure about, maybe your class is quite interactive. Maybe later you can share with me about your working and teaching experience and dealing with students. Okay, I do have from CFS, right? So CFS students are quite young. So the students that we are dealing is quite mature. So maybe we can discuss about that too. Okay, let's see. How do you feel about yourself? See, nothing related to the training that I have given. Cute. Great. Okay. Sometimes lost. Most of the time, I see myself as a person who is fun and dedicated, who goes to okay, who is this? I want to see you as well. Not only you. Who is this? Who wrote this? Oh, you have a chocolate, you know. I'll give you a sneaker. Then I just give it to a person that really needs it, and then they'll be happy. Who wrote this? You? Really? Okay, come on. I'll give you a sneaker. Just break your diet for one day. Thank you for the long answer. This is for the long answer, you know. Okay, positive. Help guidance to mold them into wholesome individuals. Positive. Sleepy. Please don't sleep. Okay. Lucky the camera is towards me, not towards the audience or the participants. Independent. Reliable. Okay, fine. Poor. Is this Buzzwin or fine? It's too simple. Kind. Cheerful, vibrant, funny, steady, like me. Is it like instruction for me, like me? You must like me. What is that? What does it mean? It should be like you, like that, like, or like. I love that, like. Hey, two of you twins, is it? Oh, I was like wondering from the beginning of the session, you know, like, imagine my struggle. My mind, I need to think about the point that I need to talk, and then looking at them like, wow, these two person like almost look alike, like am I? Okay, again. Now I'm free from the doubt. Okay, result oriented. This is very scary. Result. Is that you? No. Who wrote this? Result oriented? Oh, Mr. I'm so sorry. But yeah. Yes, that's true. That's very true. I've seen that person from day one until now. Yes. Yes, welcome. Hello. Do you belong to this? Yeah, okay, this room. Contemplating green. Hey, what is this? You feel green. Makau hijau. What is it? What is green? Green campus, green environment. That word green for Indians in Tamil, it's backward, like green words, so it's backward. So I am like confused why the green is here. You see, this is what happened in the class as well. Okay, I give them Padlet, I ask them to answer. After that, I discuss, and everybody will be like, they try their level best to use their non-verbal messages, cues to not admit that it's the answer. So I see the same vibration and energy here. Okay, dull. This is not about me, about you. Let me check the question again. How do you feel? Okay, how do you feel about yourself? Okay, rational. Okay, looking at the answers, or most of the answers are positive, very positive. Very positive, that's very good. I know that all of us, the first thing that I said is, all of us wake up in the morning, we dress up, we are here, and that itself pass, positivity pass. We have the positive mind in us, and we are here. And forget about the other reason, for CPD or for KPI, you are here. But you are here listening to me because you have some intention. Okay, maybe I can learn something from this training. So that's good enough. Now the first box, list box, yes, checked. To prepare a fun and a positive learning environment, first we are all prepared. So all of us are prepared, and we know what are we supposed to do before we enter a classroom, or before we meet a group of people, or before we have a meeting, okay, before we have a session, training session or whatever. So we are almost ready. Now if in case some of you still get some of the words there, I find only like few words, dull, and then what else? Like sometimes, what is that? Sometimes, what is the word? Sometimes lost. So I don't know the real reason why you are lost and why sometimes we couldn't find. Maybe some other personal issues, but can we increase our self-esteem? Yes, definitely. Yeah. Enhancement of low self-esteem could be realized if teachers affirm the following: I respect myself and others. So when we are expecting some respect, okay, students nowadays it's like very rare. I enter the class, it's like if I hear someone say good morning, I feel like very happy. Yeah, good morning, 8 o'clock class. Most of them will just walk in and then they'll go and sit. But only few, good morning, that good morning makes me like very happy, like, oh, it's not because of respect, but at least they have the courtesy to say hi, that, no. I am lovable and likable, I'm confident, and it shows, okay? How do you show confidence? Like me, even though like, very scared, but then, very confident. So this is how, but sometimes some situation when you are not, if you know that subject, if you're very good in that subject, no issues. But if you're new to the subject, or you still have something like a doubt whether it's true or not, can we discuss about it, especially like discussing tutorial question that you are not fully, you understood, but then not your expertise, okay? So that's where sometimes you lose your confidence, okay? I care about myself. I'm creating loving, healthy relationship. Not that type of relationship. This is like student-teacher relationship. Make sure it's like, because this is like more like NLP. Like you spread energy, love energy. I'm a good friend to myself and others. I accept myself just as I am. I look great. Life is good, and I like being a part of it. So these are some of the positive words to boost your self-esteem and face the situation. Okay? Any kind of situation in your life. You can actually apply this in your personal life also. Okay, if you have any romantic life, personal life, with your kids, with your parents, with your neighbor, anybody, okay, you can apply this. Now, can you change someone's first impression on you? Can you? So what is the impression of students if you are a lecturer now here? What is the impression of your students towards you now? Do you think, what is your impression? We can know through the self-evaluation, not self-evaluation. What evaluation is that? Student, because I'm not HOD, because HOD, these are all my student evaluation. Student evaluation. Okay. So what are the weird comments that you have received so far? Lecturers. Perfume. What else? Oh, not being strict. Wait. Wow. So this is like, that student must attend this talk, you know. Is that student? Okay. But I recently, from a person that I know, the student complained saying that the lecturer is shaking leg. Too much. Maybe it's like irritating, we can't understand. But my experience was the student saying, lecturer asking so many questions. Then what am I supposed to do? This is my job, they pay for me. I need to make sure that my student understand, like what I'm teaching. So sometimes, okay, never mind, just ignore that. Okay, but because it's just like large class and then few comments, so okay, but take into consideration. Try to find a way to ask question without telling them it's a question and you need to answer. Think of a way. We have to do that. Okay, and then besides that, some students also complain saying that like they have different mindset. Like they look at different things like perfume, shaking leg. They look at your physical distraction. Like whatever that distract them, instead of commenting more on the content, the way of teaching and learning. So, impression, can you change someone's first impression on you? Definitely. Yes. Yeah, where is it? Impression management, okay. I'm not going to teach how all the strategies, no, but I just want to make sure you know that it's just eye-opening for those who have no idea. Yes, you can actually set. It's like setting, set people will think that, oh, you are actually very friendly, but then go back and you just keep smiling. You go back home and then you just keep staring at someone because to compensate what you did in the class. Sometimes that is impression management because you did something out of your character to impress a group of people to achieve your objective in that situation, and then you come back to your own world. Yes, it is also possible. Okay, impression management. One tries to alter one's perception according to one's goal. So our goal is to make sure that student engage with us, and in that case, you don't have to turn yourself into a clown. No, but then at least a little bit. If you think that the student they are not to say friendly, they don't know you yet. Okay, so why not you just it's the first time if it is the first time you're meeting us. Our advantage, university students, lecturers' advantage is actually we have different batch of students. Okay, we meet different people. We don't meet same people, so we can actually try. It's like trial and error. We can learn a lot from different group of people. So in first group you make mistakes, we don't repeat that mistake. So we use another way of impressing another group of students. So we try our best. So now, how can we make someone to like us? Do you like me? Okay. So which means I did something outside the door, did something so that people should like me. It's not very tough. Even if you smile comes under non-verbal communication. You smile at someone, stress. You are queuing for something, you're stressed, One auntie in front of you turn at you and smile. That's itself okay, a bit really, Okay, like okay, you just forget the pressure of waiting for something for so long. So these are some of to be like. Okay, to be like. Actually, if you look deeper into this topic, you can see a lot of verbal message is like how are you supposed to talk to someone, say something in a polite way so that people will like you. But besides that, you can also, you don't have to use words, you can just use your body language, like to show that you are excited, that people like the way you shake hands, the way you like be cheerful in the classroom. Hi students, instead of just saying like, hi students, you can just say hi. When you do this, they can see the difference, right? There is like not much, nothing much, but then the students will notice, oh, even the lecturer is like so excited and energetic. Okay, why not we just like give in. They'll just put away their phone. Because I don't ask my students to put away their phone. Do you? No, because they'll be like holding their phone all the time, right? 1 hour tutorial from 8 o'clock until 9. Okay. See? It's just a reminder, very sweet reminder. Okay? So, to be believed, to be influential, and to confirm self-image. These are the 4 positive ways how we can actually use this so that the students or your working colleague or your boss or wherever you are, if you want people to look at you, you can actually use this kind of strategies. Where this is actually goals. The strategies is different. Like for example, to be like, use politeness strategy. How to be polite? You talk politely, like you say sorry, please. So this is like being very, to show that you have some courtesy, you have empathy towards someone. Okay. So besides that, to be believed, make sure that the students can believe you, whatever that you are saying, they can trust you. Okay. So you have to be concerned about that. In case if you want to impress someone, okay, make sure that when you are somewhere where they look at you, you apply to be liked, to be influenced, and also to be believed, so people will actually like you. So who are the person that you think they use this a lot? So in any kind of industry or the person.
Politician.
Yes, very good. My students are very good here in this training. Yes, politician. So is that true or not? Their character is very hard to find out. They'll be like, they can cover every, like if they are attending an event with like 1,000 people, they can smile and then they can shake hands. But then people around them will be controlling everything. Like, but if someone is trying to shake hands with him, like, they'll be like, but the bonzer will come in like, but then they'll be like, but then it's actually maybe it's a planned setting. So it's like everything is based on how do you plan and then the goals that you need to achieve. Okay, so impression management, make sure that if you think that the students lack interest on you, try to impress them. Okay, but another question, why I need to impress them? What? I'm giving them knowledge, This is what they have to know. They have to learn on their own. Okay, that is. Okay, now why not? Like we just giving something. Try to give something and then pull them in. Then we give them hard questions in final exam. So that is simple case. So this is how we initiate fun and positive learning environment. Okay. Now, so are you ready for the fun? Are you ready for the strategy? What is the keyword that I mentioned earlier, but we haven't covered until now? What was that? Yes, humor. Okay, yeah. So that is the main idea here, because one of the strategy to make sure that fun, positive learning environment is actually using humor in our classroom. So the question now is it possible? And then do you think it is necessary? Do you think I need to do something to make myself like a fool in front of the student? Now you have questioning, what is this, Miss Aruna? You are the one organized this training and then you're asking back this question. So overall, okay, I'm going to ask like only few to make sure that you remember what is the first thing that you need to know about yourself before we communicate with others.
Self-concept.
Yes, self-concept. Okay, self-concept, which means you have to know who you are, realize who you are, and then you move on to self-image, and then you move on to now I'm asking questions. She said humor, which is like I already skipped, and then I already sampai KL Central, and then dah balik Tanjung Malim, and then was reach Kampa, and you are just like going towards KL Central. Okay, very good. So far, what do you think about this fun and positivity? Do you think it's possible? Please give me like a more longer answers so that we can discuss. So it's possible, is it? Okay, so far we have actually prepared ourselves. Now, next we are going to into activities. Okay, some of the activities and ideas, and we're going to look into what is humor. Okay, and who wants sneaker? You are. You can actually look under your seat. If you have a sticker, then you get a sticker. But unfortunately, I stick the sticker at a place where nobody is sitting. So it's actually it's in the not in this area. Not in this area. Yes. Yeah. It's actually in this area. Yeah, too bad. Too bad. I actually focused. I thought there would be like more participants, so I focused this area. So imagine if students, do you think they will run? Yes. Yes. Some won't like this lah. Okay lah. Cannot do anything. Okay, I'll just simplify it. It's in the second row. Yeah. Yeah. Second row, you already have one sneaker there. Yeah. Tengok dulu before pegang lah. You see, everyone is enjoying looking at what she's doing instead of just go and grab it. Hey, you actually came across the sticker. Sorry, I didn't imagine this. It will be this. Yes. Hey, if I went and take the stickers, it will be mine, and the stickers will be mine. Actually, it will be very like fun for students. They would like to do that. They don't like to sit. I can just make them walk around. But no worries. You can have it sanitized. Sorry for the trouble. Come and get a sticker. I guess any feedback from participants? Do you want to know more about something? What are you expecting in the second part? Humor, yes. We are going to talk more about humor and more, actually focusing more on humor. Thank you very much. Okay, I have all the answers here. Okay, let me. Okay, now, who wrote Miss Raga? Raga. Full name? What's the full name? Oh, you forgot full name. Secondary or primary? Secondary school teacher. Okay. That teacher comes under this category or this category, which means you remember the person because of the funny part or the happy part, or because of too strict, or not to say negative, but then the other side. Why do you remember this teacher, Miss Raga? Miss yeah.
She actually prepared a lot of related syllables and then she is very friendly. Although she is just a new teacher, she
You want my microphone? Okay.
As I remember, she is a very kind teacher. Before every single class that she enters, she will prepare a lot of materials to us, and then we can feel her efforts. And then both of like all of us love her very much. But then she just teach us for 3 months. She's just a new teacher.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll come back to that point again. Alright. What about finding some interesting name? Lim Seong Gao. Mr. Lim Seong Gao. Who wrote that? Okay, can you explain why? Which side? Whether, okay, you remember the person. Why do you remember the person?
Okay, he is my secondary teacher. He was my secondary teacher. Was a Chinese teacher. Actually, he's so strict during the class. We all respect him because he will teach us. He put so much effort to teach us. Not only in the teaching Chinese, but also the moral value like that. So we all respect him.
Okay. I'll ask another question. When did you realize that Mr. Lim is actually, you like Mr. Lim? During the secondary school itself, do you think you really like the way that he taught? Like how you like him now?
I can say it's respect him. Yeah, respect.
Okay, but usually if the teachers are strict,
Yeah, we all will pay attention during the class.
alright, okay, thank you. And then, what about, I saw somebody was looking at the phone and then copying the name. Cik Nur, what is it? Nuriana Azlinda. Why you were looking at the phone and then writing? Who is that person?
I know that is
Oh, okay.
my lecturer.
Okay.
I remember the face, but I forgot
forgot the name.
Lecturer from which university?
Kayati.
Okay.
Yeah.
When was it?
10 years ago. 10 years
Why?
ago.
Why do you remember that person?
Because she appreciates creativity. That's why I like her and also respect her.
Can you recall any incidents that related to creativity, and how do you think that?
Because there were once you all were asked to write an essay. Then for my she fixed mine of course. Then she also actually encouraged me to walk that path like writing. But unfortunately, I did not really go for it because I have some personal problem. So
Okay, and then next, let's speak randomly. If anyone wants to share, just tell me. I'll choose your teacher's name. Tashiro, Miss Tashiro. Maybe you can give some details, like from where did you meet the teacher, and why do you like her?
I met her in junior high school and high school. She was my English teacher, but also I was a dormitory student. She was my dormitory teacher also, and we lived with our friends and only students. So we had many problems, but she listened to us, our problems, and she gave us many advice, and she didn't change her opinions with people. So I respect her, and I always remember her.
Okay. And twins, did you write the same name? No, different name. Okay, yeah. Explain. Who and what? Two of you. I want you. After you, I want you. Who's the elder brother? Okay, the younger brother first.
I wrote the name is Miss Lai Chai-Yan. She was my mathematics teacher. She is a very kindness, patient teacher, and our relationship is not just like teacher and student, but sometimes it's like friends and family.
Okay, how about your brother?
Okay, I wrote down my teacher name, Mr. Zhong Kap Meng.
Okay, he was our mathematics teacher during the high school. Okay, he quite debate the book during the teaching. Debate the book, but after the class, after the class, after the end of the school outside, he was very friendly and willing to go up with us to for the high tea.
Because of high tea. His name is here. Remember, don't forget to buy tea for your students. Okay, now, looking at this situation, I just picked few of you to explain why, but the others, you just write the name, but then looking at this, majority of you written the teacher's name here, right? For positive reason, or because I didn't say anything, let's say who is the teacher that you remember. Okay, for positive reason or negative reason, that was not a question earlier. But most of the teachers here, is it because of the positive reason? Anyone has written the name because that teacher is lousy, made your life miserable, like always try to attack you? Anyone? Okay, so which means all of you are very positive. Okay, so you just ignore the negativity. And yeah, very good. That's very good. First pass. And second, do you think they fulfill the requirement of fun? Most of them? You have to ask yourself because your favorite teacher is here. So like, it's not like funny, like, oh, they're very funny, make you laugh all the time, no. Tickle you, so that's not the thing. But then, they are like quite fun. You see them, you feel happy, like happy pill. Do you think? If anyone you think like, no, like, for example, that we had, she explained that teacher is very strict. But then she realized why the teacher is strict. Because as I have mentioned, we have different personality. Some people, especially those who are from those different generation, they have different thinking where you have to be very strict towards students. And sometimes they hold different position. Like in school, they are like discipline teacher or penyelia petang, like they have to be strict with the students. And when they attend classes, so they bring that character into the class. So that is one side. But can I assume that most of the teachers' name written here? Anyone here have written besides school teachers? Anyone? Teacher here is not a school teacher, not secondary, primary, but other classes. Who is that?
University lecturer.
Oh, university lecturer also, but also like teaching course, is it? Okay. Anyone else like extra classes, maybe curriculum activities? No. Why we don't remember them? Actually, that was fun, isn't it? Playing badminton, ping pong, basketball.
That one your boss too.
Huh?
Choose the 3 activities which we don't want to do.
Okay, but then you see, we remember those who taught us something, but then inside them they have that quality. Which quality? The fun quality. Okay? Yes, but sometimes, if you look at majority I can say they are fun, funny, positive. They can make you laugh. They can make you happy. They can make you feel like you want to learn something. Okay? So this is why they are here. Do you know they are alive or not? Yes. So if you know them, that's very good. Because now you are in a position where you are doing the job that they did earlier. Okay, so they are actually giving you a lot of inspiration. So that's very good. So who is the teacher that you remember happily? That was my question, which means happy. So most of them, majority of them fall under happy category. Only few, strict and it's not to say strict and they are like focused on their work. They want to make sure that students. Now, humor. This is the part that I was waiting actually. Okay, now, when we talk about humor, it's quite difficult because not everybody can make everybody laugh. Okay? And there are a lot of things that you need to think about. Language, like if you ask me to say a joke in my language, my native language, but to do it in English, I'll be like, sometimes when you just translate it, it doesn't work. For you, you feel like, oh, it was very funny, but when you share with someone, it doesn't work. It happens most of the time. So, how to use humor in a very safe side and also to make sure that it doesn't hurt someone, and how to incorporate it in our learning environment. So, what is humor? The ability to be amused by something seen, heard or thought about, sometimes causing you to smile or laugh, or the quality in something that causes you such amusement. That is humor. Okay, so humor, when you talk about humor, two things that always comes together is comedy and also joke. So what is comedy? Comic or humorous incident or series of incidents. Joke is something said or done to provoke laughter or cause amusement. So which means comedy, joke is actually some categories under humor. So basically, humor is something that can gives you some sense of like for you to have fun, like forget the stress. Okay, teaching. Okay, when you are teaching, you are actually under stress. Okay, but we don't realize it because we are used to it. Okay, we are used to it. We know our thing. What are we going to say? But then handling different students, not to say different students, different batch of students, different day, different mood. So we need something in between to make it smooth, and so that you can communicate better with the students. Make sure that all of us are in the same wavelength. Okay, so now, sense of humor. For example, how much people laugh about and appreciate jokes. That is sense of humor. Do you have sense of humor? Is it? Oh yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. How many of you always take risk in sharing jokes with your friend? You are the initiator. Anyone here? You have friends like that, isn't it, in your life? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes you get irritated. Okay, you just stop it. Yeah, it hurts. Okay. That is sense of humor. Sense of humor is actually how much people laugh about and appreciate jokes. It's not that you go and share a joke to someone. That is also a sense of humor. But besides that, how much you enjoy. What genre of movie do you watch? This one different category here, but horror movie. What do you watch in Netflix? Okay, for example, just switch. What category do you usually go and watch? Thriller, dramatic. But all of us like to watch comedy, isn't it? Can you say that I don't like comedy? But some might say, oh, you like? Oh my God. Okay. Or maybe, then you should be here. Wait until 4:30. And then maybe some of us will say, I don't like horror movie. Right? Some of us will say, I don't like romantic movie. I don't like, we call this action movie. But then majority of us will say, I like it. It's because it's very easy going. You don't have to feel stress. So that is why humor works in most of the time and most of the things. Okay. So this is just some definition about humor. Okay, humor is a concept with multiple dimensions which can be part of different types of psychological traits according to Martin. Sense of humor can be conceptualized, a cognitive ability where you need to understand jokes. Have you seen people who can't understand jokes, where you need to sit and then you plan everything, draw? Can you understand this? This is a joke. So then you will become a joke when you're explaining a joke to someone, right? So it happens, even in my family, sometimes I share something show my sister a meme, and she'll be like, definitely I know, okay. She doesn't understand. So when you need to explain something, especially a joke, so it doesn't work. Okay, so you have to, it's not their fault, There's no, it's like some people, yes, they can actually catch it, but some they don't, okay? Or maybe because they will be thinking something else at that moment, or maybe they really can't digest it, okay? That's different category. You need to like certain types of joke. Some people have the habit of laughing often or telling many jokes. Some people, they really do that. If you ask me why, maybe they like to entertain others, or maybe they feel like they are funny. Like somebody has told you, you are very funny. So you're I want to emphasize it. I want to show that people that I'm funny. Some, yes, do exist. And emotion-related temperament trait and attitude, coping. Okay, this one is defense mechanism, a coping strategy. That is different category. But then we are going to look at what is humor and style of humor. For example, sarcastic and self-defeating, which means this is also. We need to know about this because we should avoid this in class, okay? Because humor, if we not able to control it, or if we don't know how to use it well, we might be in trouble, especially in the student evaluation. Okay, now, okay, take your phone. Okay, this is like quite irritating, you know. If I'm not mistaken, about 20 questions. Okay, take your own sweet time. Read. Okay, just read. Don't sleep. Read, relax. Are you on the right page? Can you see the questions? Can you click? Over there? Can click. Okay, once done, submit. Okay, after submitted, you will get some answers. Okay, just keep the page, and I will tell you what are you supposed to do after that. Once done, if you have the result, can you please share with me? I mean, just tell your name. I'll write your names in the box where. Where you get the highest. Yes, you all four you get some marks, but then which one you get highest?
Self and Mansi.
Yes?
Self and Mansi.
Self and Mansi. Just give me a nickname.
Andrew.
How about others? Yes? Someone. That is good. Anyone else? Did you get any weird results? Self? Okay. PAN. Yes.
We have to see the top result of the one important percentile on the top result.
Okay, there's four. Right. Okay. 4%. Which one has the highest
Oh, okay. Alright.
highest score?
And this
Actually, you have all the, I mean, like, the four senses of the human style. You will score, but then the highest, which dominates you. Yeah, just give your name from the. Huh? Aggressive. Okay, your name.
YT.
Huh?
YT.
YIT.
Oh, YRD. Okay. Anyone else aggressive? Maybe you can just tell me.
Same.
Leave and leave. Your name is?
Leave lah.
Leave and
Or
leave.
trace also can.
Anybody else aggressive so that I would aggressive? Okay. Also, your name? R-G-U-R? G-U-R. Anyone else aggressive?
YEOH.
Okay. Okay, I'll change yourself. Defeating anyone else besides Han? Han is the special one so far. Highest. What's your name? Okay. Anybody else? No result. What's the result? Okay, here I'm here now. I think this is the most famous. Glamour. Ask me who else? What about others? Ask me. Anyone else?
When I did the test, I feel when I read the explanation, others seem with me.
That's what I think I need to talk to Martin, because he did the questionnaire. I will look into that. Hello, anybody else?
Mimi, self-enhancing.
Self-enhancing, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Mimi. M-I-M-I-N.
Oh, Mimi, yeah. Because of mask, you cannot hear clearly, sorry. Anyone else? Oh, okay. Actually, you cover almost of the, everything, but then which dominates your opinion? Most of the time, what is your sense of humor, style that you use? So fine, I just need this. When I have about 20 participants there, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What about others still choosing it?
Self-enhancing.
Self-enhancing,
Nurul.
self-enhancing, J-A. Really? Yeah, just want to make you do something. Yes? Self-fitting. Okay. Fitting. Oh, okay. Your R-A-D. R-A-D-I. Anyone else? No worries, I'm not going to call you and then ask you to explain why are you this here. I just want to make sure that all of you are here and then did the test and at least you have some idea about your style. Okay, how many of you actually expected the result? Yes, Archana said that, not Archana.
Both of us say.
Okay, it doesn't fit maybe the question. Why? Anyone else have the same feeling? Self-defeating. You are the most, we call it victim, not victim, you feel sorry for you, no? Why? Because self-defeating. Do you want to know about this? You know the explanations, right? But then I'll show you now. Now this is the explanation. Let's look at this first. This is people who score highly for affiliative humor have a tendency to share humor with others. Okay, tell jokes and funny stories, amuse others, make others laugh and enjoy laughing along with others.
Yes.
So that is supposed to be this. Okay, Archana would be. But then, but you are not here, but where were you?
Yes.
Okay, now let's see what is aggressive now before we go to self-enhancing. Okay, aggressive. People who score highly for aggressive humor have a tendency to use humor to, this is not good. Disparage, put down, or manipulate others, use of ridiculous, offensive humor, compulsive expression of humor, even when inappropriate. This is totally, yeah. But then, okay, maybe, maybe, let's see the plot twist here. Maybe you thought you were telling jokes and sharing stories, but people get offended. Really? Maybe?
I don't think so.
You don't trust people, especially students. Laugh happily, but then suddenly you say, oh, this teacher is very too funny. I cannot laugh. Might receive this kind of comment. Okay, now let's see what else. Okay, self-enhancing humor. People who score highly for this have a tendency to maintain a humorous outlook on life, even when not with others. Use humor to cope coping with stress, cheer oneself up with humor, which means you are not doing this for others, you're also doing this for yourself. So, do you think it's correct? Who is that? Oh, Andrew, okay, Andrew. Do you agree with that? Or maybe like you just realize that, hey, oh, this is me. I just got to know. Anyone? Now, let's go to self-defeating. Why I'm saying that self-defeating is like feel sorry for you, because this is a case where tendency to amuse others at one's own expense, which means sometimes you have seen people who are like they'll put themselves down just to make sure others happy. Okay, never mind, they can just make fun of me, I don't mind, but then inside burning and crying. Sometimes, but some they actually like it, but it will affect okay, even though they pretend like it's okay, no problem, no issues, but later on it might maybe for a child it will become a childhood nightmare. When they grow up and feel like people were laughing at me, like making me like a sort of fool, So this is something that that's why they call it self-defeating humor style. Laughing along with others when being ridiculed or put down, using humor to hide one's true feelings of self or others. So basically here, some of you I think did not give your name, but are you in anyone in self-defeating? Go to decide for you. So okay, to us. But do you agree with the explanation? But a little bit. So maybe the explanation given here is very extreme. You're not, but you can sense that, isn't it? Is it? maybe a little bit. Okay. Now you already know your humor style. So are you ready to use humor? Or do you think it's risky? Risky. But imagine, aggressive. I forgot about aggressive. People who score highly have a tendency to use humor to this. Okay, yeah. These people. But then two of them they say that they admit that they're not supposed to be there. Accidentally, I don't know what they did. Maybe their finger, like the answer button is like to like accidentally you click something. Okay, you can just ignore that. But in case if you are in aggressive style, you should be very careful in using humor in your class or to your friends or even to your romantic partner, okay? Because you will be like happily enjoying, you share something that hurting someone, but you don't bother, just go and sleep happily and then wake up, go to work, come back happy, very happy, but the person will be like thinking at that, smashing here, closing door, so this is something that you don't notice. Hey, why are you behaving like this? What's so weird? But then something happened, which is that maybe this is one of the reasons, right? So now we know what are the styles that exist under humor. So can you answer this? Do you agree with this statement? Humor is important for learning? Yes. Okay, yeah. It's like yes. No, it's like let's be in the middle. So that at the end of the training, you get something. It's like yes, which means your expectation will be very high. When I teach you some, give you some exposure about techniques, you might be like feel this is not enough because your expectation is too high. So let's be in the middle. Okay. So humor, yes, we can use it here and there in our learning environment. So humor is important for learning. So I believe that all of you said yes. Okay, now. So here some of the, if you are really interested in learning more about humor, it's like specifically humor. So you can actually Google about Jonathan Sandling. Okay, he has done a lot of research and also YouTube videos that related to humor, like some, what do you call this, feedback, what the teacher is expecting and what is their opinion, what is the student's opinion, what is primary student's opinion about humor, secondary student's opinion. But now, the discussion that I'm going to have after this is actually related to higher education students. What are the activities that we can actually relate, and what are the benefits especially for our students? Okay, humor, look at the words. These are the benefits of using humor. Okay, let's see, productivity, creativity, affinity, anxiety, confidence, attention, problem solving, memory, motivation, recall, relation, boredom. Okay, all this actually related to I got this keyword from Jonathan Sandling, where he was actually mentioning about what are the words that students mention when we talk about humor. Okay, what comes in their mind. Okay, so these are the words. Now, using humor in classroom to make their learning experience fun, positive. Okay, that's our title, fun and positive, and memorable. When I ask all of you to write something, okay, what comes in your mind is a memory of a teacher that gives you an experience, okay, experience of teaching. Okay, they actually maybe not 100% fun and positive, but then you remember them because one of the reasons might be this, okay, where it's very memorable. If someone who is funny, you can actually remember them, okay. When used correctly, humor can enhance. Actually, there are a lot of other benefits, but I just picked these three. Student engagement, boost morale, increase student retention. Okay. When you look at this, the top 10 reasons to use humor in the classroom, this is also from a survey. Humor reduce stress in the classroom. Do you agree? Reduce stress. Yeah. That part we'll be discussing about that. But if it's what about a teacher who thought it was a joke, but then the teacher shared it, but then it was not funny, then it will change the environment into a stressful environment for the teacher and also the students to laugh or not to laugh, okay, to make her happy, and they were just like so it's a fake laugh. So that's different situation. Now we're talking about basically about something that worked out. Okay, humor increases creativity. Maybe yes, like for example, stressfully you're asking a student, okay, can you please change this model into different model? Instead of doing that, you are just like giving them a picture, okay, a picture, funny picture, and then ask them to discuss with their group and then make the funny picture into something, but it's the same model, okay? But if you are doing this is more, they will feel like instead of giving them stress, come forward alone, you write it, okay, it's a model arm. So that is a bit stressful, okay, where it can actually restrict the student from thinking. Reduce negative talk, creates more memorable lesson, leads to more work being completed. More work being completed if you use humor with a limitation, okay? Leads to fewer discipline problem, creates more student buy-in, improves your relationship with families. Humor is team and family building. Humor, you write this one, okay? So which means if you use humor in class, these are the three main benefits. Student engagement, boost morale. Okay, now let's see this one by one. Identify the benefits of humor. So these are the three main benefits. Increases student engagement. When you make students laugh, you grab their attention and engage their brain. But the question is, can you make them laugh? Okay, so that is a very tough question. A light-hearted moment can help students feel more relaxed and open to learning, which can lead to increased student engagement and participants. So it's like the example that I have given. When you make them free, okay, like stress-free, don't stress them. You have to answer on time. Your answer must be correct. If you give wrong answer, you are going to punish them. And also, these are the situations that can make students stressful. So when we do this, they will be but some situation I've seen, when you let the students speak, that one student will be speaking, interrupting you all the time. This happens sometimes. I've seen this. So that we should know how to control the situation, especially when you are using humor, because it's very subjective. Okay, number 2, boost morale. Humor can help create a positive and enjoyable learning environment. A fun and light-hearted classroom can help students to feel more confident and motivated to participate. Improve memory retention. This is memorable. So how humor related to memory? Studies have shown that humor can enhance memory recall, making it easier for students to remember what they have learned. But if you come and argue with me, a strict teacher taught me this, and I still remember. Even me, I can still remember times because of my teacher who entered the classroom, asked us to stand up on the bench when I was in standard 3, and then she would be asking questions. You can sit only if you give the right answer. And I still remember the times that she taught me. Oh, that works as well. Okay, so it's but this is stress-free. We are talking about fun and positive learning, right? So let's talk about how humor improves memory retention. Studies have shown that humor can enhance memory recall, making it easier for students to remember what they have learned. Okay, that is for sure. Now, besides that, usually, how do you have in your tutorial? Do you have ice breaking? When you first meet your student, for FAS, Faculty of Arts and Social Science, yes, we have. Most of the courses, yes, we have ice breaking. So usually ice breaking is related to fun, positive and humor. Yes, we do that. But after that, we'll forget about that. We'll just forget about that, and then very stressful. You have to answer this, do this, give me the answer. Okay, so that is what I prefer to break. Okay, let's break that norm, and we have to make sure that it's not that throughout first week until week 14 you have fun, and then what did you learn? So that is not the point here. The point is, how are we supposed to incorporate that if possible, into your tutorial? Because that's where we actually engage with our students. Lecture class, we have a lot of slides, we need to actually explain to them. But yes, if you think, do you think playing video, like YouTube video, comes under fun and positive and humor environment? YouTube video. Have you tried doing that in your class, especially lecture class? They don't get entertainment because they are doing that all the time. That is what they're doing. So if you play and then you just for you achievement, you play and then you look at students, they'll be looking around, and then they'll be looking around at the duration, okay, what time is going to end. No, they are not amused, because they don't want that. So we have to think beyond that. Alright, so think beyond. So ice breaking in our classroom for the first week. Humor can help break down barriers and bring students together. It can help students feel more comfortable in the classroom, which can improve the learning. Are we ready to use humor in university? Do you think it is possible? Do you think it's possible? So we have head of department here from FAS. Can you share with us about this? Are we ready to use humor in university? Of course. Not my student will be that bored in class.
because I'm teaching something that is very, not serious, very difficult, right? Ethics and law at the same time. So if I don't make a lot of jokes in class or try to simplify things, and usually they will get bored. So usually to get their attention. Whenever I ask them in class, anybody wants to answer the question? No one said anything, right? When I ask this question, okay, everybody is silent. My next word that come out from my mouth is, yoo-hoo, anybody there? And then now, every time they see me, right, Miss, yoo-hoo. But they will always remember what they learned. And then sometimes when they cannot answer their questions, right, like for example, we give everything on PowerPoint and whatnot, right? And then I told them, did you look at the lecture notes or not? No. Did you go to Webber or not? No. Do you think I do all that for decoration? They'll be like, oh, okay. So can you find it? Yes. What page number? Yes. They will learn in that way. So that humor, they might find.
Okay. Yes. Anybody else? Do you want to share with us that you have done something? Yeah. I'm not sure whether the microphone.
Okay. I just want to share the situation before MCO and after MCO. Okay, before MCO, possibly the humors, like you say, people still laughing at you, and of course they will say something on whatever you speak about. After MCO, everybody with the gadgets in the classes, okay, with the tablets, with the phones, everything. I don't think so they have a sense of humor on them because they see everything in the gadgets. So where is a sense of humor we can go to them? Because for them everything is a gadget. Unless you go into the gadgets all the time and show them, maybe they may laugh at you.
Yeah, I think we need to attend the AI class and then create application.
Yes.
Our own application. Okay, that's different category. Okay, now, yes, that's true. Now we need to actually think of how are we supposed to actually like squeeze into their life and then make them laugh, please laugh. No, it's not that. It's about like pulling them. Yeah, they will be looking at, for even you look at us, you know, that's what we will be doing. After 1 minute, 2 minutes, we'll be like sitting for our phone, you know, like, because that's how it has been, especially after MCO, yes. Now, let's make humor relevant. We have to make humor relevant. So now let's, using humor in classroom, what are the things that we can actually look into before we decide to use humor? Okay, let's not plan, because humor it should be very spontaneous, right? If you plan a joke, you enter the class, you plan a joke, you say it, and then you like expect everybody to laugh. That is the most ridiculous thing that can happen in our life, right? So that's not going to happen. So make it very spontaneous. First, know your audience. Okay, this is very important. Okay. Our audience now is matured kids after MCO. Okay, category, let's categorize them. After MCO, and then very matured. They don't like to talk to people. They want only tips for exam. They don't like to see your face. No, some category of students that we face, you know, like sometimes they are like they just want come to the point, please. Don't give us like unnecessary stories. No, we don't want that. Straight to the point. So before you start incorporating humor in your lessons, it's important to understand your students. Understand them, because I deal with 4 different faculties. Because of my HOD, I'm dealing with 4 different faculties, you know. One course, but 10 different students. So I will meet different types of students. FAS, F Science, FBF, and FICT. Wow. See the category, totally different. I can see that when I'm marking their paper. No? Even the range, everything is different. Why? Same, when we can argue, same university, everything is same, every facilities are same, lecturers same module, you know, I'm teaching the same. But then these 200 students have different results in when they express their feelings or when they answer. Why? Because they are different. Okay, so when you are dealing with different people, you have to know your audience, your students, exactly what do they want. Like for example, FICT. If I have planned to make them happy, I just tell them, I have this game, like this game, they'll be like very excited in the class. That's just the word game. Because they know a lot of things about games, and then this is how I sometimes I get into related to the students. Okay, now some students may enjoy silly jokes while others may prefer puns and sarcasm. Get to know your students and their sense of humor and use it to your advantage. Do you need to do a survey? What do you like? No. Do you need to do that? That's unnecessary, but then through the flow. So you can use your ice-breaking session. Your first week, okay, is the right time for you to know about your audience, your students, who they are, what do they want, okay? But let's look at the majority, okay? Like majority, who are they? Okay, there are some that mixed group, right? So you might meet some of different category of people among them. So let's focus on the larger group. Keep it appropriate. Always be mindful of your audience and make sure the humor you use is appropriate for their age and maturity level. Okay? Because our age and students' age, we have a gap. Maybe we have young lecturers here, so your gap is not very big. Some of us very big gap, so we have to be very careful because for us that might be a joke. For them it's like, what are you saying? I can't even understand, the term. So it might happen. Use real life example. Using real life example can help make your lessons more relatable and entertaining. Share personal stories. This is something very dangerous. I do receive my AA. All of us have that experience. That AA come and tell, Miss, I don't want to know that Miss got married, got kid, what she cooked for her husband. I don't want to know about that. Why is she sharing that in the classroom? So, problem. Okay, so you should know, is this important, relevant? So, humor in classroom, maybe for you it's very humorous, like whatever happened in your life. When you go and share to your students, they can't relate and they felt like it's unnecessary, irrelevant. Okay, that are related to the topic you are teaching, and use humor to help illustrate your point. Be yourself. The most effective humor is often spontaneous and genuine. So this is only like few people have that charm, like they are like really funny. Whatever they say, like it's very funny. They can actually spontaneously they can make a joke. So if you have that, very good. You already like a package. Like when you go to the class, you have a knowledge and accompanied with some humor sense, and then you can just control the class like this. But what if no? What if like you already tried your best, but then the students are not amused? Students feel like it's very bored, like they cannot engage. So what do you do? These are some of the ideas, okay, collected, okay, randomly for university level students, that you can actually relay. We'll look at this one by one, okay. Joke of the day. Have you tried this joke of the day in your lesson? Have you tried this? Every week when you enter, you have a joke. And then a joke that works. Try with your friends before you go to the class. Okay. And the student will be expecting that. It's like a routine, like they will be waiting what is the teacher is going to say. Because they know that this class is happening and the teacher has some, even it's a lame joke or dad joke, anything, okay? But then it's a joke. You put some effort on it. Usually I will do that at the beginning of the class, and after that I'll forget. Because I focus more on, actually you should not do that. Make sure it's consistent, okay? Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, or maybe a joke that can actually make them think. It's a joke, it's a funny situation, make them think, and then you say, this is what we are going to discuss this week. This is the topic that we are going to discuss. So you relate to the joke. Make sure the joke that you are giving, a funny story or anything that you are giving, but then make sure it's related to the what do you call this? The module, okay, the topic that you're going to cover, okay? Now, number 1, this is, where is this? Okay. So how many of you have tried this joke? Maybe it doesn't work, maybe. If you can create your own joke, wow, that is very good. Because maybe in Malaysia we don't have that. Do you like to watch stand-up comedy? Who said I don't like? You don't like? Do you think doing stand-up comedy is easy? Huh? It's very difficult, right? But easily you can say, no, I don't like. See how tough is their job. It's very difficult. So, maybe you can get inspiration from them. But we don't have to be a stand-up comedian. Their job is to like non-stop, like they have to collect all the data, all the comedy, like for what, sometimes 1 hour, 30 minutes. If the audience didn't laugh, failure. It affects their mood, everything. So they must make sure that they laugh. But our job is not to make sure that, hey, my student must laugh. No. It's just like in between. Like you start and then you just ignite, like the humor sense, and then you go into your module, you go into your topic, and then in between again, okay, relate with the students, right? Now this is number 1, joke of the day. What about next? Maybe we can, okay, insert pop culture into your class. It's actually not pop culture. What is the latest culture that students are following? Do you know? K-pop. You should know, especially the lecturers. If you don't know, then you are in trouble. Actually, we are in trouble. That's where the students are not amused, like whatever that we are sharing, because they just focus on what they want. We need to update ourselves with the students, in line with the students. What are they following now? Their culture, like insert pop culture into your class. They really like it. Even though it's not funny, but if you talk something, or if you, maybe like you mention some keywords of like what they are doing right now, like for example K-pop, or maybe a game that they are playing, like the current hot games that they are playing, you just mention it. They'll be very excited to talk about it. So this is how we need to upgrade ourselves about what is the latest trend among students, and also some viral topics that are happening around, around Malaysia, around the students. Go to Utah Confession and then read what's happening, and then ask them in the class. They'll be like very happy. Yes, please. Oh yeah, it happened. So they're very excited, especially this. But it's in Chinese. Sometimes I'll just ask my friend to understand. And the translation also sometimes can't understand. So that is how we relate. Okay, insert pop culture into your class. Use cartoons. Okay, cartoon. Do you think students watching cartoons now? No, but then we don't show them Tom and Jerry. No, it's not that. Use figures, like cartoon figure when you are doing your slide. But not all the time, because it's not kindergarten. Maybe like certain part where it actually, especially tutorial. I'm focusing more on tutorial because that's where we have small group, and then we can actually control the student easily. Okay, compared to lecture class. Lecture class is actually large. Some of you have large class, so it's quite difficult to include humor, because when you are in like IDK or LDK 4 and 5, LDK 3, they can't hear you. So it will be like delay. You say, if you share a joke, after 6 seconds it will reach. Then like they will laugh with delay. Then you will be like going to another slide. So it doesn't work. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Writing captions to a photo or meme. I really love this. Actually, I wanted to do this activity with all of you, but you want to try? It's actually very interesting. Give a photo, and then you come up with a very funny. It can be a meme or a. Okay, let me try. You can actually discuss with your partner, those who are sitting together, and then I want you to give me. Can you please spontaneously come up with a caption? I'll give you about a few minutes for you. Keep it, okay? I'll give you about 2 to 3 minutes. Come up with a caption. It can be a caption. You're gonna turn it into a meme or anything, okay? Like this person is saying something and another person is replying or thinking. Two minutes, Okay, now we'll know who is the funniest person in this class. Who's the funniest person and who is trying to be funny and who is like trying hard also like me. I'm actually like, yeah. Somebody said something funny. Is it like, can you share? Censored? Sneaker are the funniest, but for the caption that people who laughed a lot of it, so together we will announce that person as a winner. After this, make sure you go to Zumba or exercise after eating. Zumba. Okay, can we start? Who wants to try first? Can be a group, not necessarily individual. Yes, we have Afni here. Thank you for attending the training.
Maybe the older one like, hey, look at them. Look at their hair. And then the other one, yeah, it's fake.
Wow, people are laughing. Yeah, that's good. Actually, it's good. Okay, one. Okay, now let's see the loudest sound. You are the winner. You want to try? Yeah, I think you have to. Yeah, I can see that. Some people are, they have that appearance.
Funny, but if cannot be understood, it would be funny lah. Maybe the lady say he's telling someone like grab me a subway on the way home. Then the ladies over there is thinking like, oh, you can grab a train home now. That idea is that her subway and the other subway is two different subways.
Okay. Sometimes we get stuck here because it's very intellectual actually. Even we can understand. understand, but it took time, isn't it? So we must be careful with this type of jokes. Okay, it is joke. It is under category of joke. You want to try? Oh, thinking. Still thinking. That's a very good answer. No?
What? Anyone else?
Dinesh, as a former, you're still student, right? Haven't graduated, right? Okay. So, I have a victim here, so I'm going to use him.
Maybe the lady on the left, she's asking her younger daughter, where you went? And then the elder one who's sitting down there probably got all the scolding from her mother due to her bad mood, and then she's wondering when is the sister going to kena from the mom?
Encourage him. The issue was because it was too long. Okay, he was explaining. It's hard to be funny, right?
Because we are aware now.
Huh?
We are aware, so it's not natural.
Oh, okay. But then, can you think about something? No.
I think you just told your hairdryer.
Very hard to be funny, though. Quit my job. Yeah, okay, yes. So, if you give this activity to the students, they can come up with something because our like freeze, so I can understand the situation, but this kind of activity, especially meme, because students, there are a lot of meme creators, right? So give them photo that related to the topic that you are discussing. Then you can actually ask them to fill up or ask them to discuss about that. This is okay. Next, what did you see here? These are the ideas and techniques that you can use for university level students. For kids, wow, there are millions. Like you can ask them to dance, wiggle. Can you do that to our students in the class? Mate, what's wrong with you? So that doesn't work. Even music, they don't like it. Music, like loud music, because they have different interests, different types of music, so they don't like it. So we have to be very careful and also make sure at the same time we don't fool ourselves in front of them. So it has to be it's like very technically you have to be very careful. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start the class with a famous quote on the whiteboard and ask students to give it a modern touch. Okay, like famous quote like what we always see. Okay, the very famous quote. What is it? Like Buddha quote. You want to just give them, share with them, and then ask them to change it. Or maybe you can just give them something related to your topic. Okay, like for example, I'm teaching like non-verbal communication, so I just give them related to a quote that related to non-verbal, which 90% of us speak non-verbally more than verbal. So this is a study. So how can they change it into something more funnier or relevant to their idea? Okay, so you can just think of something that related to your studies. Request the students to write answer using their opposite hand. Okay, if they are left-handed, ask them to write on the right-handed. So you can call them and then write. So automatically when they write, what's happening on the board? So like, at least. But actually it works. When you study, don't memorize. If you are right-handed, try to write it out on your. Can you write? Can anyone here can write on both hands? Right and left. Can you draw right? Anyone? Okay. So if you are able to do that, very good. So this is something that it gives activity for their brain as well. So another plus. Request the students to write an answer using make sure it's on the whiteboard. So when they are doing it, they will actually spend some time. So it will be like quite funny, and then the other students can actually correct them. So it's like interaction. Request students to submit a video. This is like very interesting because using TikTok you can make video in less than 1 minute, 2 minutes, right? Easily you can edit anything. You can ask the students to make a video, then you can just ask them to delete. Okay? Ask the students to make a video, save it, send it to to your source or your WhatsApp or whatever, and play it in the class. Give them activity that they can actually create videos within 2 minutes. Actually, you can make a video, right? How many of you are active in TikTok? I also said that. But then I realized, wow, I'm actually losing something because students are really into that. It's like short videos, information. And if I'm not mistaken, even our election result was influenced by TikTok, right? Some source are saying that. So how powerful is that application? Actually, we can use that for humor and also intellectual purpose with our students. Okay, you can always. You don't have to have TikTok. No problem. No worries. We just pretend like TikTok. I know TikTok. Just pretend, and then ask them. Tell them. Okay, this is the content. This is the topic. I want you to make informational video or maybe a video like to show like if you are like a chemistry lecturer. So just tell them. Okay. How to do this experiment or process in a video. Tell it within 2 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes. Once done, send to me, send or WhatsApp. You just open it and play it here. After that, you can ask your student to delete from the account. You can just do that, okay? Or maybe save the video, only save the video. This is when they can see their face on screen, automatically they will laugh. Try, just try. They are very happy to see their face, especially their friend's face, or their face on screen. Student will be very happy. Okay. This is number 1 case imitation of you teaching a past. This is just an example. This is just an example to recap. If you want to recap something in your class, what you have taught last week, instead of just asking them, "Can you tell me," you can ask them to do this. Just pretend like you are me, and then they will start their drama. Because they just love it, right? So they will do that. Introducing a new topic or concept, begin by putting students in group and having them draw pictures. Ask them to draw pictures like definitely we have to upload our topic before the lecture class, right? So what we can do is the student will be informed that you need to go through or just look through the topic that you're going to discuss next week. So once enter, you just draw what do you understand? Like for example, perception. Can you draw in a picture and show me what do you understand? So having them draw pictures. So can you draw? I can draw human. How you draw human? This is man. Girl? Skirt. I think universal. This is the drawing that we know. Okay, so definitely students also again, maybe if they can draw well, you can actually turn it into another situation. But the funniest part there is someone trying to draw who really can't draw well. But it's not like we are not going to tease them, no. So don't make it like looks very serious. Have fun in terms of doing that. And finally, I keep this for the best, role play. Role play is actually very good idea. Okay, you can actually give funny situation and role play. Anyone from like FEGT, science? You're teaching science students, right? Do you think you can incorporate role play into science? Have you done this before? Have you tried? Yeah, I know that. I know CFS, yes. Okay, but do you do you have time like to interact with the student besides teaching? Because even tutorial we have a lot of questions, right? After that, do you think like giving them a situation, anything that they can incorporate role play? Is it possible?
It's a very hard thing actually because the time that they can just 2 hours fully, we have to occupy all the content and all the lessons. So it's a bit difficult unless we use our muscle to do it.
Usually, like, do you think the students are in pressure? How do they cope up in class? Like?
For them, it's a bit pressurizing. They feel it's a bit hard, but somehow we also have to do it because we have to complete the overall syllabus. So we want technology. That's our problem.
Because role play is take time, you know, like any FPF lecture here? FPF. FICT? Lecturers. F science. I've seen you somewhere there. Oh! Okay, that's off topic. Okay. Okay. What are the faculties? Because FAS we can easily incorporate role play. Not an issue at all. Even for FBF, I think yes. Like English, definitely. For FBF, yes, because like for example, marketing students, definitely they can use role play. You know, if you give them role play, make sure it's quite funny. The script is like a bit funny, so that they can come up with like gender, reverse role. You know, they can think about this, you know, to make sure that there are funny, fun elements in their role play. But I do face difficulties in giving role play because my subject is like the final 100% coursework, 50% is role play, and nowadays the students what they do is role play means like you have to act, isn't it? You give a situation, you have to act, and they are holding food in their hand, which is unacceptable. Presentation, yes. Presentation I can actually accept because last time we used to have notes, right? So instead of notes, they have phone. Okay lah, but still but then okay, never mind. You just go on, but as long as you have eye contact with me, no problem. But role play is totally unacceptable because role play should be you have to. Never mind, it's okay if the script is not right, correct, or you say the wrong word. Anything is possible, but then as long as you are into the role. So try to avoid holding phone if you are doing. Not you, the students who are involving. Try to tell them that do not use phone. You can actually, the main point is to get the message. Like if you are going to discuss about, like for example, finance students, the role play that you are giving is one assume as a banker and you are applying role. You are applying a role where you are, okay, for example, buying loan. Okay, not buying, applying loan. Applying loan, so how are you supposed to go and discuss? So they will have some, then you give some hint, like maybe you don't have money, you have never bought anything, but then you have a big dream, you want to open a 1 million business, so the banker is like very arrogant, like trying to tease you. So give them the situation and ask them to role play. That is where you can come up with a lot of, fun situation, but also intellectually they can actually like put themselves into the real situation. So this is why I say role play is important, but because of time limitation, okay, CFS has time limitation where they can't include that, and some of you maybe you can't really think. That's why I asked if I have any FICT or FGT, maybe I can get some idea from you. Whether is it relevant or not? Can you just like tune in, role play, so that people, because students need to speak, communicate. Okay, that's how we make people, students talk. All right, now, what? Are you happy with these ideas, or do you have anything that you have done before? Or do you think that, I think this is appropriate, we can actually use this. Do you have anything from your side that you feel like maybe you can share as a student? Anyone doing postgrad studies now? Anything, eh? Or you're going to try singing in the class so that your students will laugh? Never tried that. Anything else? Music, yes, I know that it's quite difficult for you to incorporate in terms of developing humor. So these are the things that it's from my side. Yeah, I've shared from my side where I see it's quite easy for you to just include that in your class, especially tutorial. Yes?
So why actually came to my mind, we have like a chemical process of course like the Krebs cycle. So there's a song where on YouTube where for students to remember the entire process, they sing the song with the name of the substrate, the reactants and the products. So it's a good way for students to remember like some.
Do you remember the song? Can you sing for us now?
No, I don't know the song.
A, B, C, D, something like that. It's like that, is it? Like, is it a very common tune or it's like?
It's not really a common tune. It's like funny the way that the person will be explaining the process using the song.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's good. But if it's already there and they actually enjoy it, that's actually very good. But for the part where if you would like to create a new song or ask them to sing, so that will end up in disaster, I guess. Especially it will take a lot of time. These ideas, you can do it very quickly. You don't have to spend a lot of time, like because it's already there, it's very objective, like you can see what's happening there. Okay. Now, anything that if you would like to add, you can actually let me know. Not this. Now, sorry, it's too small because I'm going to read it out for you. The question earlier, using humor. If it's too much, what if the student doesn't like it and then the student feel like it's irritating and it's not necessary especially during learning process, because I want to learn about what is A, what is B, and why this lecturer is giving something else which I don't need, wasting my time. Okay, some yes do appear. So let's see some negative feedbacks from students, some common negative feedbacks. Messed up a joke and completely shut down from what he said, he or she. So which means, joke of the day, if you think that you're going to mess up, so better just put it aside. My biology teacher is not funny and this makes me lose focus in class. So you thought that you are being funny, so you include that in your class, but then it doesn't make sense. My speech teacher tried to use humor, but she wasn't really very funny, so it didn't help. I have an instructor in a history class who tries to use humor all the time, but more often that not he is the only one laughing. He often resorts to bad pun, which means like not funny. I couldn't understand an instructor's humor because English was not his first language. So this is like some students, they really they don't even put effort to understand, when their sense of humor is not congruent with the majority of their students, which means the sense of humor, they found it like it needs to be better. Failed joke make the teacher look like look like a jackass. Failure to understand students' level of understanding of the information. Failure to understand students' level of understanding of the information being taught. So which means this is nothing to do with humor, but then overall the student think that because of humor, the lecturer is like going off topic. In math, when the instructor told a joke that only math majors would know, it was not funny. My chemistry instructor would try to use chemistry joke that none of us could understand. My math professor was telling us a joke, an intellectual joke, and none of us understand. So basically, they want to understand jokes. What is this? You have to experience jokes, isn't it? Or you like the subway. I'm so sorry. No, I was just referring to the subway. Actually, that was a joke. But why? Because we couldn't understand. That's the same situation happened in this, for this student. I had a history teacher who tried to tell a joke involving a concentration camp, and it is just plain was not funny. Explaining how to design a cockpit in AutoCAD and comparing it to female body parts. Here comes the inappropriate jokes. Okay, so the joke that you are sharing, sleepy. Okay, now, so it's going to over. No worries. Okay, so the joke that you are sharing, it needs to be very appropriate. Okay, one of my teacher tried to use racial joke. That did not go over well. Instructor tried to make a joke about race, and then no one laughed. Found it unnecessary when my instructor used cursing to add humor. So no curse word, no vulgar word, no double meaning. Okay, try to avoid. These are very sensitive. Trying too hard to be funny. This is very heartbreaking. Trying too hard to be funny. I think that's me. One of my old teachers always laughed at her own jokes, so I kind of zoned her out. And the last one is I had a high school teacher who always tried to cover his mistake with a joke. This is also, like they try to, they notice high school teacher who always tried to cover his mistake with a joke, but he always ended up looking like a fool instead. So students also notice our, like maybe if we are late, if we are not on time, like if we are not doing our thing correctly, they notice. So please do not try. Okay, these are all something that we need to. Actually, there's a lot other categories as well, but I just took something which is related to our topic today. All right. Besides this, what are the things that we have to notice and try to be careful in terms of using humor? Do not offend anyone individually. Like in the class, sometimes we don't realize, like we say something but it's quite sensitive to one of the students in the class. So you have to be very sensitive in terms of culture, gender. Now gender, even I actually face a lot of difficulties, in giving examples because FS, yes, we do give a lot of examples when you're explaining. Sometimes when I say like, when it comes to like LGBT issues, like we don't know like what they are thinking. This generation, they have different mindset. So when I give example, I have to be very careful. And also in Utah, we have different country. Like they are here with us. So when you're giving example, the language that you use, you have to be very careful. So this is gender, culture, sensitive. Okay? Why suddenly everyone become very sad? Like climax. Okay. Use humor appropriately. Don't overdo it, because when you overdo it, it can actually could damage credibility because we target ourselves instead the student. Okay, don't overdo it. Like don't try to make yourself as a joker, and then at the end you didn't achieve your main aim objective is to teach. Okay, learning process. So in between the learning process, we are just like incorporating humor to make sure that student can actually engage with us, look at us, okay, engage. Yes, because student engagement, 15 minutes they will look away or their mind will be wandering somewhere else. So we just need to pull them, okay, and then just to make sure that every week they are attending the class because of you. Okay, they want to see you. They know that you have something exciting, okay, for them. While humor can be a powerful tool, it's important not to overuse it. Too much humor can distract from the lesson and take away from the educational experience. Use humor in moderation. Always make sure it supports your teaching goals. Okay, be more sensitive. Avoid too much humor. Okay, this is the keyword here. Avoid using too much humor because we are not here as a stand-up comedian. We are actually educators. But like most things in life, it needs to be used in moderation. Too much humor can result in the loss of respect, and inappropriate jokes or jokes at the student's expense can create a hostile classroom environment, because we are looking for fun and positive learning environment. So if too much, it might lead to where you might lose respect. But I'm not saying that we have our dignity, no. But then we should know our limitation. Okay. Okay, using humor in the classroom can be a fun and effective way to engage students and improve their learning experience. The quote here, the ha-ha of humor in the classroom may indeed contribute to the aha of learning from the student. Can you understand that? The ha-ha can become aha. Okay, so that's the point here. Now let's come to the discussion. How do you think you can actually incorporate humor, fun, positivity is already there. When you have the mindset to teach students and to make sure that they engage with you, that is already positive, okay? Your positive concept. And then how can you incorporate into your tutorial work? Some of you have tutorial which is very technically, like you have to calculate, like science stream, so you have to calculate and very formulas. So, do you think it's possible? Again, I'm going to call Afni to share with us. Okay, this time, yeah. In tutorial.
I'm kind of sarcastic, so I incorporate a lot of sarcasm with my students, and then I also use pop culture things that are close to them, which are also close to me because I tend to be young. Right? So that is how I incorporate humor in my classes.
What about others?
Sometimes because sometimes our class like this, it is too technical, especially like calculation, sometimes drawing, and let's say like programming, it might be hard to incorporate. And what I do is on and off. Actually, the choose of humor is not to actually make them focus, but to reduce the tension in classes. And like after 20 minutes of talking, they are listening to you, then I will just do something in order to make them relax. For example, I will try to ask questions, like looking at the students in the class, asking them this question, and they will, students usually they will give you the blank face what's that? So I will look at them and then I will just say, hiya, and then instantly they will know who I am imitating. So then the whole class will laugh, and it kind of reduce the tension level. Then only I will continue with the lessons. That is to make the class less tension, less stressful, as in to make them feel like they come here to study, not in a very stressful environment.
Do you think they like to attend your class?
I think yes.
They don't have any other choice.
I have to for yes.
Okay, that's what we are trying to break it, where because they need to attend the class for attendance, but let's make it like really love to attend Miss Paslin's class. So that is what we are actually expecting, and actually we should move towards that, which is like if you how are you supposed to prepare to enter the class? Yes, your self-concept, you have to prepare that, make sure that the positivity is there, and just imagine a radio DJ, morning talk show radio DJ, how is like active and hyper is that person. I don't know how they do that. Okay, they do have a lot of problems, okay, in their life, but then when they enter the conti, they become like, wow, I'm here to give you 100%. Okay, so when we are in that situation, okay, and then we try to apply the ideas. Now, after equipping everything, you know, like your self-concept, self-image, your boost your self-esteem, and then you apply impression management techniques. More, equip the Iron Man. You go into the classroom and you apply the ideas. Okay. Anyone else that you have tried, like how Mr. Pan tried this? I wonder, because when I asked which faculty are you from, nobody answered. Where are you from? Foundation, CFS. Okay. Which department? Science also. So do you have anything to share? Because they said like it's like time constraint and then like too technical. Sometimes it's quite difficult. Okay, yeah, IT. This is Can you think about, or maybe you can also share what's happening now in your class? I mean, like, how do you teach them? How it goes? How do you deal with your students? Do you already have this fun element?
No. I'm not good in that.
Okay. So, if in your case you are saying that you have not used, but what is your students' feedback? How do students look at you?
Honestly, they will feel quite bored.
They will feel?
Because of quite technical here, and sometimes depends on the subject I teach. And then sometimes I even teach them keyboard and mouse. I can't imagine how happily you can keep listening to me that keyboard, mouse, touch screen. Then, how to make sure only I have no idea.
So by the ideas that I was given now is like nothing is relevant, is it? Can you think about anything like one?
Maybe like some of them then suddenly think other ways here. At least they won't be so tension. That is the only part I can do it. The midst of like you say role play, I cannot do it.
Yeah.
And then most of the thing I can apply.
But maybe is how it's like IT, because yes, you have to teach a lot of coding. That's what you do, is it, every day? You teach the students.